Thomas, remember the time I was hired to guard Jeffrey Epstein's cell? Peter, Look, Peter, I can't do this anymore. The voice, you, everything. I'm taking the kids, and we're going to be staying with my parents for a while. I'm sorry. Holy crap! What is the worst form of humor? I've heard it said that puns are the lowest form of humor, but what the hell does that mean? Well, let's start with what a pun is. A pun is the humorous use of a word or phrase so as to emphasize or suggest its different meanings or applications, or the use of words that are alike or nearly alike in sound but different in meaning. Basically, puns are a play on words. So, why would puns be considered the lowest form of humor? Well, it comes from the idea that anyone with enough understanding of a language can come up with and understand puns. Dad, I'm hungry. Hi, hungry, I'm Dad. You know, stupid shit like that. So, okay, puns have like a low skill floor, essentially. It's easy to know enough to understand a pun. But puns also have a high skill ceiling. Having a broader vocabulary, or even knowing multiple languages, gives a far wider repertoire for potential puns to produce. And this knowledge base needs to be similarly held at the other end of the joke for it to make sense. But I think we can break this down further. How about sarcasm? Puns are using words that sound similar but have different meanings to make a joke, but sarcasm is literally just saying something but not really meaning it. Wow, it sure is beautiful outside, I say while walking to my apartment soaking wet from the rain. Nobody responds, since I live alone, so overall a pretty depressing but also real scenario. Sarcasm may be straightforward on paper, but it does have some nuance to it. Obviously, the language prerequisite is there, as with many forms of communication, but the person being told the joke also needs to be able to discern it as a joke. For example, I have a few friends who, like me, use sarcasm pretty liberally. However, while people are almost always able to understand that I'm joking around, some of my friends have legitimately offended people while just trying to make a funny comment. There are numerous factors that can go into this. Maybe the joke wasn't said with the right tonality to indicate it was sarcastically stated. Maybe the joke was not extreme enough to give away to the other person that there was any joke made at all. Maybe they did get the joke, but it's a topic they don't appreciate being joked about, and it's something they are sensitive towards. Alrighty, so sarcasm is easy to learn, but maybe difficult to master. I think we can break this down further. There's a form of humor that doesn't require these nuances, doesn't require a significant breadth of awareness of a language, hell, even any language, to use. All it requires is a single data point of shared knowledge. Reference humor is pervasive throughout modern society, and really seems to be the go-to form of humor for the average person trying to get a laugh or fit into a group. The information age has made it easier than ever for many people to have the exact same information consumed by them, and the internet has accelerated the growth of memes into pop culture. Anytime I hop into spaces online and check out what's going on, I consistently see some absolute sheeple quoting some meme that's currently circulating or referencing some big budget movie, and it's as if that in and of itself is supposed to be the joke. Just acknowledging that something that happened or exists is funny. You know what? Maybe I'm just a square or whatever, but I don't fucking get it. Look, here, I found an example. My boy, Mephistopheles here, asking the important questions. So, I understand his question. What can I do to minimize the loss of humorousness in a joke in case if the reader is not familiar with the source material? But here's the rub. What is the joke? I mean, really, what's the joke? What is funny about this? Well, let's dig a little deeper. The joke, like all jokes, requires some sort of reference point, something that makes the statement relatable to both the joke teller and the joke hearer. Hearer, receiver, listener, whatever. So, a joke is a way to establish a connection between these people. If people share a similar base of knowledge or understanding of the world, basically, if they're in the same in-group or tribe or reggae band, then the joke will make sense and be acknowledged with laughter. If there's a breakdown in the joke, then the person knows that they are not of the same reggae group. Thusly, if there is a breakdown in the joke, then the person knows that they're not from the same group and can act accordingly, either by trying to build rapport and a connection or being more cold generally. In understanding jokes and humor as a simple way to establish a connection between people, it seems obvious that the lowest form of humor is not puns but references. Literally just saying something and seeing if the other person has heard it said before. Doesn't get a whole lot simpler than that. Oh wait, hold up. Alright, we can't just end it here. I mean, think about it. This shit gets old, right? I hear the same joke for the 40th time, I'm probably not gonna laugh. So, there has to be something more to the story than this. Humor is a topic that has sorely lacked attention for a rigorous scientific study, which is a shame given how complex it clearly is. Many people have speculated as to what makes jokes just work, including Plato, Thomas Hobbes, and even Sigmund Freud. But none of their explanations encompass more than a single subset of humor. Over a decade ago, Dr. Peter McGraw sought to find a universal theory of humor. The culmination of his and his colleagues' efforts is the idea of benign violations. This concept suggests that the evolutionary purpose of humor and laughter is to signal that something was a violation of social norms, but that it was an acceptable violation and that everything between those involved is A-OK. This is a pretty interesting idea, and seems like an explanation that could encompass many or even most humor as we know it. I mean, this could cover everything from potty humor to dark comedy, and explains why some jokes just don't work with certain people or in certain situations. An example Dr. McGraw gave was a joke given about a church attracting new members by trying to auction off a car, and people who themselves were not churchgoers found the joke pretty funny, but people who were churchgoers and thought of going to church as something fairly important and sacred were far less likely to enjoy the joke. So, since this theory was developed about a decade ago, where have things gotten since then? Well, nowadays, Dr. McGraw is a motivational speaker / podcaster who seeks to appeal to the growing population of older singles. Presumably because it makes more money than dissecting the structure of humor. So, yeah, I guess I'll just go take this video and shove it on my... Alrighty, well, thanks for watching and listening to the video. I'm looking forward to making more of these in the future and get on that YouTube grind. So, subscribe if you're interested to see more videos like this. Thanks again, and take it easy. Holy crap! Holy crap! Holy crap! Holy crap!